What is
Yo,
up?
yo,
What
yo,
is up on
yo.
another episode of the It's For Me podcast? We're back. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's get into it, shall we? First thing
Absolutely.
that has happened, there's a
Oh,
lot of wrestling news here. Bandito
yeah.
has signed with AEW.
I actually kind of like that,
Bandito,
actually.
Bandito is signed to AEW. So that was small news. So let's go to the next thing. Um, Natalia, you know that stiff shot she took on Friday night, guys, where she got
Yeah.
kneed in the face and broke her nose? She
Yeah.
has now been admitted to the hospital and has had nose surgery to get it
Mm.
fixed. And Shayna Baszler, you should have let up on that kick. For you to just go and rear your leg back and hit her like that, come on. And we said it on the show Friday on our watch along that this was on purpose.
Yeah.
This was not let up. You're supposed to let up on punches and kicks in every move. So your opponent, you ensure that your opponent does not get hurt. Now you're seen as Shayna Baszler. You're seen as not a safe worker. And this is not going to bode well for your career.
First of all, and then there was no reason for her to partner with Ronda Rousey in the first place because.
But here's the thing. That wasn't really her fault. That was Triple H's booking decision to pair her up with her. That wasn't on her.
But still, but I feel like this is on. I said that, like you said, man. I think this is on Triple H's. We should at least give Triple H a good portion of the blame there.
Yeah, because he paired her up with the most problematic wrestler in the company. Yes. Yeah, you could say, oh, but she's heel and she's supposed to act like that. She's act like that in real life, even as a face.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks too because now she's influencing Shayna to cause havoc in the ring like that.
Absolutely.
She probably told her in her ear, kick her in the face. Legitimately, kick her in the face. And she reared up and kicked her in the face. And well, I don't really care for Natalia and her in-ring work. I can respect her as a person. She's a nice enough person to be respected.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
and
agree
she
with
did
that.
not deserve to get kicked in the face like that.
Oh, 100%. Like, there was no reason for that.
No reason at all. And I hope she heals up from the surgery. It's better. I hope there's a fine, or I hope there's a suspension.
I was going to say, I was just thinking that too.
There should be a fine or suspension because that's not okay.
Yeah.
Also, while you're at it, suspend Ronda Rousey because that was obviously what she whispered in her ear was to influence that. Legitimately.
Oh, mm-hmm.
You can write it off saying, oh, she was just being a heel. But she probably most likely said, kick her legitimately in the face.
That's
she should get
great.
suspended too.
Oh, absolutely.
A former WWE manager, Dutch Mantel. You remember who he was, right?
No, that's the name I have not.
He managed Jack Swagger like.
What the fuck did he was called? What the hell was his name?
I forgot. Zeb Coulter.
Zeb Coulter. Something. That's what it's fun. God damn, it feels like it's so goddamn long.
Yeah, he said that Vince McMahon stopped caring towards the end of his tenure, which he did.
Oh yeah, I mean you can definitely tell. Like,
we've seen it countless times through the 2010s how much he stopped caring. Mm-hmm. He gave a jobber the title, a jobber that couldn't wrestle or speak the title, the main title, the title of all titles for the company. He gave him the title. And he just did not care. He just did not care. So I have to agree with that. What are your thoughts on it?
I could agree with that too, man. I mean, Look, we know what Jack Swagger is capable of. I mean, I think because no one, I mean, Swagger is a good wrestler, but really for a guy, I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, I thought it was still too early for Swagger to even win a title in the company in the first place. Because it looked like it's a little bit too green for.
Dude. It wasn't Swagger. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about.
Oh well, we knew.
Talking about Jinder. I am not talking about Swagger.
Oh, first of all, Jinder should never won the title in the first place. Let's keep it a buck here.
He shouldn't.
It was way too goddamn early.
It wasn't that it was way too goddamn early. He shouldn't have won it, period, at all. He couldn't wrestle. He couldn't speak.
True. But I mean,
he should have not won it at all.
Like we said, with no one Vince, like he likes big buff men. That's just kind of how it was.
Big sweaty men. That's what he likes. Big sweaty men. And that sounds wrong, but that's what he says. Jeff Jarrett signed with AEW and appeared on Dynamite last week.
I didn't watch it, so I mean,
dude, why? Why do you get all these old veterans? All you needed was Jericho, and then the rest of it could have been younger talent.
But I mean,
built around Jericho. But you know what you did? You signed, I don't know, you signed Big Show, you signed Madison Rayne, who's on her last legs, because she's older. You signed
then you brought in Bandito. No, he's on the little. He's still on the younger end of things. So I mean, you still haven't.
You got Bandito. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm talking about the older guys.
Oh yeah.
You brought in who else?
I mean, you said brought in Madison Rayne.
Yeah. I already said Madison Rayne, but you brought in Big Show. You brought in CM Punk, who was a problem child. He was a problem. He was problematic.
Oh yeah, and at this point, I mean, it's showing that Tony Khan does not care.
He doesn't. You know, he wants to sign everybody under the sun. You should not do that. Honestly, you shouldn't have signed anybody else. Period. You should just roll with whatever you were going.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have signed anybody else. Signing everybody under the sun. Here's what happened. Half of your roster is stuck on Dark. You want to know why? You're signing everybody under the sun.
Not to mention you ruined the opportunities to build stars like Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss.
Where has Joey Janela been? He's been out of the company doing. The only way he's been gaining popularity and getting money was indie shows.
Where he might even get more.
Where has Sonny Kiss been? Been on that faction that's pretty much dead. Hasn't been on TV. Hasn't been on Dark, but hasn't been on TV. Why the heck has Serpentico been relegated to jobber status?
It's been
what, and also where has Abaddon been the last few years?
You know what? That's a very good. Wow. Yeah.
You have so much good talent on your roster that's either stuck on Dark, jobbing out to the major stars, or not even been on TV or on Dark, haven't been seen, period, at all. And yet you want to sign Jeff Jarrett to a contract? Come on.
And Todd, I think we talked about this too. I mean, not or
more than AEW. We've been screaming loud about this against AEW. They're signing everybody under the sun and screwing over their talent by doing that because they have too much talent.
And think of this too. And Todd, I don't even talk this on the stream, but no, the fact that we might see a partnership with GCW and WWE, we might see Joey Janela get more popularity.
He's been literally on GCW, but the problem is he did say watch Raw that night and nothing happened. So I think the GCW thing fell through.
Well,
I don't know.
Either way, though,
but if Triple H and Stephanie do work on that and they do get a partnership with GCW, you might see Joey Janela on Raw.
And I mean his popularity is going to skyrocket through the roof.
It is because that guy's a star. And the thing is, from the first time I saw him on TV, I knew that guy was going to be a star.
Mm-hmm.
And AEW completely screwed it up. Completely.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. That was my rant about it. Ava Rain, aka The Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson,
I mean, goddamn.
makes her debut on NXT as a member of the Schism faction. She's part of Schism. And I really like this because they're not making her the stereotypical Samoan character. People are like, oh, why can't they put her in Bloodline? Why can't they put her in the Bloodline? That's too obvious.
Yeah, it's too
Also, they need to break away from the whole stereotype thing of, oh, a Samoan wrestler needs to be a Samoan. Was Yokozuna a Samoan? No. Yeah, he was a Samoan before that, and it flopped. So they said, let's make him a Japanese character. And that worked.
And that pretty much got over. I mean, you really think about it. I mean, the NOI film has deep roots in professional wrestling. But like you said, I mean, Samoa Johnson, and this is another thing too. I think we pointed out too. Keep her on NXT for as long as you can before you call her up to the main roster. That's what I would do, because I mean, I think there's potential for her to grow in NXT. But I just feel like, especially with, I mean, the fact that she's the fact that from what we saw that she picked up her dad's mannerisms, it's like, good Lord, it's like, this is going to be this is going to be interesting.
Like she's already yelling at the backstage interviewers as a heel. Her dad did that.
Yeah, I mean,
she's yelling at the backstage interviewers. I'm like,
but it's just like I don't think she's like super green. I know she's going to be trading a lot though, but I say just keep her NXT. Try to let her develop more into this character that she's brought in as Ava Rain, which I think I'm really liking. And like I said this too with Tyler before, more than a couple of weeks ago when she made her debut. I'm digging it because I feel like, there's a lot of star power. I think, let's be real, I think Schism is going to have a lot of star power in NXT. But that's just me.
And the thing is, it's kind of like a cult, kind of, in a sense, which I like the faction because of that. But bringing in Ava Rain would really help. Also, it would help aid her with the teachings of Joe Gacy and his in-ring ability and his promo ability. He can help teach her.
Oh, absolutely.
And that group could teach her. Okay, this is what you got to do as a heel. This is what you got to do is, in the ring. This is what you got to do. This is how you cut a promo. This is how you wrestle. This is how you speak as a heel. Everything. The only gripe that I have of her is the fact that we haven't seen her in the ring yet.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly for sure what she's capable of in the ring.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in the ring yet. Hopefully we could see what she's capable of in the ring, because I think her promos are pretty good. And I know people were complaining too, and I don't know, and I don't think it's a gripe, in my opinion, it's a gripe for other people, is the fact that her lips don't connect when she talks.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
To me, I'm like, I could write that off as, I could pass that off, like, whatever. That's how she speaks, whatever. I don't care.
But and I'm really digging that red contact in her one eye.
Dude, I thought it was awesome. It was awesome. But I loved how she talks with a lot of like conviction, a lot of emotion. She's yelling at the backstage reporter like her dad does. She has like a lot of like her his mannerisms.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, who better than get traded by your own dad, who's been really well known for over the last 2 decades to be one of the best.
Yeah, and but yeah, I've seen a lot of potential in her. I still see it. Over the last 2 weeks, I need to see some stuff in the ring. Is she good in the ring? If she's good in the ring, great. She could be a star.
And you got somebody like Joe Gacy who's well experienced that can help her out along the way. I mean, you got HBK back there too. I'm pretty sure Joe Gacy and probably HBK are probably talking. I would say, out of character and try to help her develop. Because let's be real. Okay, so we know that Joe Gacy is an established star. I think Schism, is really well over with the crowd, and now having Aven Rain on there too. You're really letting that Skip faction soar to the moon.
Yeah, and it's really starting to take shape. In the beginning, I'm like confused. What is this faction? And like because it was Joe Gacy, and then you had the two other members in like robes, and you even see their face. Like, what is this? This is like some kind of like Undertaker type thing.
Yeah,
and then they took everything off, and then it started to develop more. Then they got new members, or they got one new member in Ava Rain, which makes it down to 5 members in this group, which I love.
Yeah.
Or actually, 4 members in this group. Yeah, it was 4. You got 4 members in this group. Now you have a full faction with 4 people. You have a full faction, and I really have liked the whole Schism faction so far.
Oh, absolutely.
But next up, speaking of The Rock, he has a new movie coming out because production starts today. So, people who are saying that, oh, he's going to show up at Mania, I don't know if he's showing up at Mania anymore.
I don't think so.
Because he has this production coming on. He has a new holiday. I think it would be out by Christmas because it's a holiday movie. So it's fairly simple in a sense. You do a holiday movie. So he's probably going to release that movie in December, so he probably would show up.
Because Mania's not until April.
Yeah, it's not until April, and it's a holiday movie. So and holiday movies usually take a month to 2 months to make, and it's probably going to be a month because it's November, and it'll lead into December. So, yeah. Logan Paul has actually gotten praise from former and current WWE talent.
I mean, rightfully so, man. Despite the fact, and despite tearing his knee in the process, but I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, it's just like it's
just please don't use his brother again.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
Take his brother off TV. I don't care how close they are as brothers. Take him off TV. Logan Paul, he can stay because he's really turned my head, and he's really shown that he can go in this ring. He can talk. He has a lot of charisma. He can talk on the mic. He can also wrestle, from what I've seen. He's passed the eye test with me and the ear test. He's passed on all fronts in my eyes, and I think he could be a star. I could see it.
Absolutely.
I would, like I said on Friday, give him 1 to 2 years, and this man could be in contention for a title.
I mean, would you just consider putting him on NXT and let him just keep on growing?
Honestly, no, because he's too big of a star, like outside the business.
Right.
Put him on NXT. That's like putting, I don't know, John Cena on NXT in his heyday. Like I would literally just keep him on the main roster because he's growing, even though he's on the main roster, and he's getting better, and he's getting over. So technically he's getting over, but technically he's almost it's like he's kind of over, but he's kind of not because people still hate him over the whole Force thing that happened a few years back.
Yeah.
But people got to realize he's grown from that.
But I think people nowadays really don't even care about that anymore from what we've seen.
Honestly, I forgot about the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, you really think about it too. Like we've seen, Logan Paul surprise some heads. I mean, shit, give Bad Bunny at least some benefit of the doubt. Pulls off a Canadian destroyer.
Bad Bunny hit a whole what that was, a Panama Sunrise or some shit.
A Canadian destroyer.
Oh, it was a Canadian destroyer on the outside of the ring.
At WrestleMania.
And then he went to the Royal Rumble, lit it up again.
Like, it's just, with this new regime, though, I feel like like now we've seen Logan. I mean, I've seen Logan Paul and even HBK kind of
You wanna know
talking.
why? Do you know what I love about these celebrities like Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, and Bad Bunny?
What's that?
They care enough about the business to train and get better, so that their first match they give a good first impression.
Oh,
And they did it.
absolutely.
All three of them did it, and I'm proud of those guys for doing that.
Oh,
Because there's a
for
lot
sure.
of celebrities. There's a lot of celebrities prior to that who did not care,
Oof.
who just went in there for a paycheck and easy popularity.
Well, we knew that Logan already has.
You had people like Snooki show up and not give a damn.
Yikes!
You had people like K-Fed show up and not give a damn. You had people like I don't know who else. Maria Menounos show up and not give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
you had who else? Who's another celebrity that showed up that didn't give a damn? Oh, you had Floyd Mayweather show up and just box with Big Show. He didn't care.
And the way that I see it, it's just like, I think another guy too, I think that actually has cared about the business and it's rose terms of heads. That's Action Bronson. A lot of people ain't gonna get Bronson.
This man, I saw this man's match on, I think it was a Rampage.
I think it might have been Rampage.
I was like, this dude doing arm drags, body slams. He hit a running power slam. I'm like, he's a rapper, and he's hitting those moves.
Oh, absolutely. It's just we're seeing, like we said with Logan Paul. Yes, we knew he has some popularity. He has some haters, and I think that's the reason why I think in due time I can see Logan Paul, if he wanted, like I said, 1 or 2 years time, at least to start out to win. If you want to start winning championships, either start with the mid card.
I would start with like the U.S. title or
that's what I'm saying, like the Intercontinental title. Yeah, just to start there and build on from there. Because, dude's got world championship written all over him.
He's got world championship written all over him. He's got the charisma. He's got the skills. His skills are actually getting better and better every match. If you can take a notice to that, but like every match, he's gotten a little bit better every time. And you've seen it. I've seen it.
Well, we got to thank HBK for that too.
HBK helped him out, which is a great training partner to have.
Especially a great person to have on. Yeah.
An amazing training partner. He's also teaching them how to have charisma, how to speak, and all this stuff. And it's paying off. You good? Oh, your internet's off. Well, I'm alone again. It's an internet shot. Let's go to the comment, shall we? What's up, Butterfly? What's up, Chad? What's up, John? I'm watching Raw. Not currently. No. Merrick, it's all good, man. We fought hard in that series. So I'm not too mad. We fought hard the whole way there, so I'm not too mad about the Phillies. And yes, the Eagles are playing good football right now. Yo, what's up, Daniel? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read comments because his internet. Yeah, I was stalling so much. I'm like, oh, his internet. Let me read comments.
But where do we leave off before I started having technical issues?
Shawn Michaels and him training Logan Paul. I was saying
seems like not just Shawn Michaels. I've been seeing there's a lot of. I have a feeling there's like other superstars have been kind of helping Logan Paul out along the way.
Like you could see it. You could see it in the match. It's like, hey man, take this move this way and that way and all this stuff. It seemed like I watched back the Crown Jewel match and it seemed like Roman was also guiding him in a way with that match.
Even though it's even though it's hard to say Roman, even though like we said, even though we know it's the shit scripted, but we know that Roman has been, how long has he been with the company now? Over, feels like it's been a fucking long.
He's been with the company since 2012, so 10 years.
Holy fuck! It's been that long. Holy shit!
It's been that long because remember the Shield came. The Shield
right.
The Shield came to be in 2012.
That's, oh my god. But I do feel like though. I mean, you have to. If I'm Roman, and this is the way that I see it. I could read Romans if I can read Romans body language, knowing that he could be like by the time if Roman's say his career's done, he's got. I mean, I think he's making another star in the making, and that's and Logan Paul because I mean the fact. I mean, it was a good match though. I mean, despite the fact we didn't want to see it, but like Tyler said, I mean, looking back at it, it's like he's just helping him to like learn to do like the right. Well, I say what's I'm looking like the right techniques is where I'm trying to put it.
Yeah, he's trying to teach him the way of like how to wrestle in these marquee matches
And how,
because this was his first marquee match for the title, and it was kind of like to test the waters in a way if they want to use him in future title matches. And I didn't get it until the match happened.
Neither, and I think nobody did.
Nobody did. I'm thinking, why did they put him in the title picture too soon? The thing is like some people didn't want him in the title picture at all. To me, I was saying maybe give him 1 to 2 years.
Yeah,
he still has room to develop his craft, and he would get a title. I would say give him 1 to 2 years and then give him a title match.
Oh yeah,
but it was kind of like the test of waters. How would he fare in a big time match like this?
Especially on a main event too at the same time.
How would he do in the main event in a marquee match with so much pressure? How can he do under pressure? And this man delivered under pressure.
And the fact that one of the part of the highlights, he had like a camera in one hand and actually did a splash on Roman with the camera in his hand.
He was like, "Hey, Roman."
Like
I saw that video. I saw that video.
Logan Paul,
dude, I saw that video and started dying. I'm like, wow, that was funny.
But this is the way that I see it. Try to limit the splashes because that's really taking a shot on his knees. That's the way that I see it.
Honestly, what he needs to do is to not under rotate on splashes. That's what happened.
Yeah, because
he kind of he didn't rotate well enough, or he wasn't flat in that splash. He was kind of like angled.
Yeah,
and that's where injured his knee. He needs to be a little bit more flat with it.
I think that's the first time he's ever mistake on a splash.
Like he's flying through the air. He needs to be more flat. When he lands, he can just land with all of his like the base of his body is on the table, as opposed to just being on the side.
Oh yeah,
that's the only gripe that, and he'll get better at that.
Oh yeah, I mean look. I mean, we're not. I mean, it's like it's good constructive criticism, but we're not like really bashing him because it's like, I mean, the dude. I mean, he's got. I mean, look, we saw him how he wrestles. Yes, there's a lot of things we can. I know HBK and Triple H and whoever, and maybe Roman, Joe. I mean, whoever is backstage, are willing to work with him and try and clean stuff up because if you can refine it, and especially with his one lucky strike, and I think. No, I think you got something in your hands. I really do believe in Logan Paul.
But please, for the love of God, don't make his finisher a knockout punch. Because it seems like they're teasing that his finisher is a knockout punch. Don't do that. Please. Give him a finisher. Don't just give him a punch for a finisher. Don't Big Show him, please.
I don't think Triple H would do. There's no way in hell Triple H would do that.
They're teasing that his finisher is a knockout punch. Yes, ma'am. That's what they're teasing, Rob. They've been teasing that for a few weeks. That his finisher is a knockout punch. They should not do that. They should give him a legitimate finisher that he can do, not just a punch.
I mean,
Give him something like, I don't know, the rock bottom, but call it a different name or something.
Or give him something like a Panama Sunrise out. I mean, he has the capability to pull off a Panama Sunrise.
Give this man maybe a backflip off the top rope for like hair.
And at least give him something to where like he stands out. Because I mean, we know that there's some moves.
A knockout punch is too boring for
I mean, that's been kind of watered down over the years.
You had Big Show. You had Big Show do that. It was boring. And this is a man who had a choke slam.
Or the way that I see it, or Triple H allows him, give him the pedigree for the love of God.
But the problem is he already allowed Seth to use
right.
that.
I forgot
He
about.
already gave it to Seth.
Hmm.
He doesn't want his. He would. I'm sure he doesn't want his finisher to be overused like Sean's is now.
Yeah, the super kick's been really watered down. I mean, I know the spears is also the spears. I mean, the super kick and the spear are for me, it's the two watered down moves. So,
give him something. Give him something that he can do, but it stands out. Don't just give him. Oh, I'm gonna ball my fist up and punch you, and that's how I'm gonna win the match.
I'm trying to
think.
Don't
do that.
It's just like, I mean, the one that really comes to mind was the code breaker, but I don't think no one else is going to take that. I mean, that's been used a lot too. That's an interesting conversation.
See, it's tough, but it's up to Triple H to do something. That's the thing.
Yeah, and but I think Triple H is going to find out is going to figure a way out to give him a finisher.
The thing is, I think he's going to use the knockout punch to test it, see if it gets over. If it doesn't get over, he's going to give him a new finisher. Vince, he would have probably just kept him.
Vince would definitely just go with it.
Oh, we're just going to go with a knockout punch. I don't care if the fans don't like it or like it. Triple H goes, they don't really like it, so let me change it.
Or let's go back to the drawing board and see what we can come up with, because I mean, we know that
like we said, Triple H is fan first. So he is going to go with what fans think. So,
I mean, the fan response is that especially in this regime, is the big indicator. Like, is the fan it's like how, I mean, we knew that Logan Paul is over, but like Tyler said, I think if Triple H decides to test it out, and if it's somehow, if it does, like Tyler said, if it doesn't get over, it's back to the drawing board. I mean, it's not a bad thing though, but I mean,
no. You're just testing something out. If something doesn't work, go back to the drawing board, find out what works, and go with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like in sports. If something doesn't work in sports, what do teams want to do? They want to go back to the drawing board, see what works next week.
Because I'm trying to think over the years as a wrestling fan, I'm trying to see what has not been watered down. We know that, I mean, one move, I feel like you can make the argument that can be watered down. It's the Bronco Buster, but I don't think no one's sees that anymore. I'm trying to think
I don't see anybody using a Bronco Buster.
Maybe a frog. I think maybe give him a frog splash. That's what the way that I mean, I try to go to with the strength.
I feel like they've already given that as like a secondary finisher in a sense. Because he does do a frog splash.
Okay, yeah.
But you got to think too. Dom uses that move too. Dominic Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
He uses that move. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm just gonna say, just go with that knockout punch to start out. If that doesn't get over, figure something out. That's all I've got to say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I'm also, I didn't write this down, but there is some NWA news I want to cover. Billy Corgan doesn't like females in NWA, and Nick Aldis said something about it.
Well, I mean, if you piss off Nick Aldis
and got suspended over it, and Nick Aldis is mad, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't piss off Nick Aldis, or as older TNA people remember know him as Magnus. Which
he was Magnus first.
I forgot it. I still remember that.
Yo, Magnus. The thing is, I don't know why Magnus got like crapped on as a gimmick. It was not a bad gimmick.
But I mean, and I mean, like, and I think we all have a huge group. That's why sometimes I feel like NWA at times I feel like has lost touch with some of the wrestling fans. The fact that you hide behind a paywall is absolute bullshit.
They had NWA Power on YouTube. I was watching it constantly. Let's put it on Fight for like $4.99. You had it on YouTube for free. Are you kidding?
I mean, trust me, I think if I'm a female, if I heard that shit, I would just ask my release flat out.
It wasn't just Nick Aldis that was complaining about it. It was also Mickie James going off on it.
Yeah, so when you piss off Nick Aldis and his wife, by the way,
you're screwed.
Aldis, you lucky bastard. At the same time, but that's besides the point.
Lucky mother.
But I think you have a problem on your hands when you piss off Mickie James and Nick Aldis. Because I mean, you really, it's like this is why I feel like NWA is going to go down the shitter.
I feel like if Nick if your boss made comments like that about your job, saying, "Oh, women can't do this job, women can't do that job," you would go crazy on.
Oh, absolutely, right, dude.
And
like it's 2022. Like, are you?
It's
fucking
2022,
kidding?
not 1962. Grow up, Billy Corgan. Just saying.
This is why I mean the NWA hasn't been relevant since the days of of the late Harley Race, the late Dusty Rhodes. Hell,
And this is why. And apparently, this man was in a rock band.
Yeah, the Smashing Pumpkins. A lot of people don't remember that.
You haven't been relevant since then.
Well, that was in the early 2000s. Fuck, I feel
guess
old
what?
just thinking about that.
So guess what, dude? You don't cut it in the wrestling business. Get out of the wrestling business. If you're gonna make comments like that, oh, women aren't cut out to be in the NWA. Women aren't cut out to be in a company. What?
Shit. I mean,
come on.
Well, Philly halftime.
You have women like Camille Brickhouse over in your company. Melina got over again in your company. Chelsea Green is over in your company. So yes, these women do work in the NWA. They do.
This is why I feel like the NWA, and like I said, even though they haven't been relevant since the days, let's be real, since between the 70s and the 80s, when you still have the late Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say this man's name, Ric Flair, was actually pretty over in the 80s in the NWA. Like, you lost all that prestige.
But the thing is, you want to know why? Because they kept that old-fashioned style since the 1980s. Oh, women can't wrestle in this company. Only the guys can.
So you're telling me, like you said, well, I mean, you see, like women's nowadays, it's like women can hold their own against anybody else.
Mm-hmm. You've seen women wrestle the men in current times.
Yeah, some promotions, anyways.
Some promotions, but they still wrestled against the men and hung in there with the men.
Oh, absolutely.
Like times have changed. This is not 1962 anymore. This is not 1982 anymore. This is 2022.
Yep, absolutely. Because I mean, shit. It's already about. I mean, luckily, I don't think James Source is no longer there, if I'm not mistaken. No, James Source is back. No, James Source is still with Impact, correct?
James Storm is not. He's with Ohio Valley Wrestling now.
Wow, that's still around, eh?
Yeah, Ohio Valley Wrestling is a standalone company. They're no longer developmental. They're standalone, so they can get anybody. You got guys like they do occasionally partner with the NWA because they had the NWA national champion Chris Masters on there at one point. They have Mahabali Shera there. They have Jesse Goddard's there. He was also an Impact. Those two were an Impact. Now they're not. James Storm is there. Believe it or not, the Bashams are there.
Oh, I forgot about. Oh my god,
the Bashams are there. Is like they're more of like running the show, pretty much, like on screen.
God, I remember when Ohio Valley Wrestling was an actual developmental territory from the days in the early 2000s. That still had the likes of a young Kenny Omega back in 2005.
That wasn't OVW. That was not OVW.
Oh no, that was Deep South. I'm sorry.
That was Deep South. That was Deep South. But
I can't believe Ohio
Valley was with WWE for a little bit, and they were with TNA as their developmental, and then they were a standalone company.
That's crazy that they still
grew because they were small, but then they started growing a lot with these developmental deals.
And I feel like. And if I'm James Storr too, I bet probably James Storr is probably pissed too if he ever heard those comments.
He probably
because I mean, yeah, even though I don't know exactly how James Storr would react. That's the thing.
Because I don't know if he's never gotten publicly mad over something like that. But I'm pretty sure he's fuming over that.
I'm pretty sure everybody is.
I can't believe I work for this guy.
Especially if I'm Melina, especially the women that in the company, I would just ask for my file-out release and just go elsewhere. That actually I will provide my talents elsewhere.
I feel like after the comments that he made, the women's division, there is going to implode.
Oh, I could see that.
It's going to be over. It's done. The writing's on the wall after those comments were made. It's over for that. All you'll have is the guys, and then, I mean, your company's already floundering from those comments.
And not to mention too, like you rely on a paywall to keep yourself afloat, which is ridiculous. But that's here nor there. But I mean,
you don't even have a TV deal. You don't. You don't even have a deal with Sinclair. The worst of the worst.
Yeah, shocking.
You have no TV deal. You used to have a TV deal with TBS in the 80s. TBS. You don't even have that. All you have is YouTube and the paywall with Fight. And the reason why you had the paywall, because you were getting next to nothing with YouTube. You were getting nothing. So you went to Fight, you asked for a paywall, got the paywall, and now you're stuck.
It's ridiculous. This is why I feel like the NWA, I think, is going to go under at one way.
It's done. After those comments and after all the business practices that they tried to do, it's done.
I mean, like all the wrestling legends that wrestled for the promotion, like I mean, that's your totally disrespected the name of the NWA that
they
came before you.
Most of those guys aren't even alive; they're rolling in their grave.
Like, I mean, the late Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, for the love of God.
Dusty's really rolling in his grave.
Oh no, like that's really sad. You know, I mean, for you have these, you know, all-time greats that came before you in the NWA at the time. You know, even though me and Tyler can't say because we were the late '90s kids, but you know that would when this is before you know how the WWE before they became like a big global thing in the before like, and this was like the early '80s. So I mean,
because it didn't become like a national thing until like 83, 84.
Almost close towards the early '90s.
Yeah.
So, and Greg and John, so basically what we're talking about is Billy Corgan's comments on the women's division, and like we said, it's gonna that comes already belly side up.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna not do well.
And like we said, I mean, we discussed you had all these all-time greats that came before you, and you disrespected.
You disrespected them, and then you disrespected women in general. Oh, they can't work for the NWA.
So then, what was the point?
When you have women like Camille Brickhouse over, she's even over with me. I like Camille Brickhouse. She's awesome.
I've shocking. I've never seen her wrestle.
She's great. She's awesome. She's like one of those powerhouse wrestlers type.
Ooh,
she's tall and she's built, like really built.
And you have probably I actually think she's still underrated. And that's Melina. I think Melina is still underrated to this very day.
Dude, Melina was great in the ring too.
And you have her
she was more of like a kind of like brawler / cruiserweight type in a sense.
Yeah, she was like a mixed style.
Yeah, like a mixed style. She could also kick your face off if she wanted to. But then you have Chelsea Green, who's a really good wrestler. Super injury prone though, which is kind of a gripe. Very injury prone.
And we did. Oh yeah. So Greg and John asked what happened. Aldis got suspended because he
complained. He complained outright that his boss was saying that that women, including his wife, could not wrestle in the NWA.
Yeah, you'd be mistaken. Holy crap!
And he got mad and went off on him. So Billy Corgan suspended him for unprofessionalism. When really you were the one being unprofessional, you dummy.
Yeah, dumb. Exactly. It's ridiculous, but it's just like for those and the way that I could put this too is the fact that the way that I see it is like Billy Corgan feel like he's stuck in the mid 90s during the Attitude Era when the women just we're not fucking no one give a fucking shit about them. That's the way that this kind of comes off.
He has this he has his late 80s, 90s, and 2000s, or late 80s, early like 90s into the 2000s mentality where women don't matter in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, just think. How about Reality Check? Wake the hell up!
Yeah, Reality Check is 2022. Women are taking shape and they're running wrestling right now.
Yeah,
They're doing great and they're killing it.
but
If women wrestling didn't matter, Sasha Banks would have mattered. Bailey would have mattered.
like Mickey James wouldn't even mattered.
Mickey James, and then let's go outside of WWE. Jordan Grace wouldn't be over as way she is.
Deonna Purrazzo, for the love of God.
Deonna Purrazzo, Jersey girl, which I'm, repping her.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
her. She's from Jersey.
Let's see. It's
Uh,
just so many other women. It's
so
hard
many
to
other
name.
women out there that are killing it. That wouldn't have killed it in those other two eras because they wouldn't have mattered. And you're stuck there, Billy Corgan. You're stuck there.
Like it's just. He's basically the NWA's Vince McMahon at this point.
He is at this point, yeah. At this point, yeah.
It's just it's sad. It's sad to see it for a prestigious promotion as NWA kind of just run into the ground. And that's what you do. Like we wrestled back in the 80s in the NWA, and yet that does make sense to me. Like even the women back then of the NWA still actually mattered, and we still had like the late fabulous Moolah. You had Matt Young. At one point before she, like you had these all-time women's great women.
I think it was Moolah that caused her issues. Mae Young wasn't the problematic one.
I mean, I did read into Moolah. I mean, Moolah was just a fucking troublemaker back in her heyday.
God. Let's just bribe women to like sleep her and shit.
It's just like what the fuck is? That's just like I'm looking at this. Is this fucking real?
Oh my god.
I mean, shit. But man, it's just like
Billy Corgan, get your head out of your own butt and just stop. Think about what you say, because you could damage somebody, and you've already tried to damage a lot with what you said.
Oh, trust me. Basically, you committed career suicide at this point.
You did, and now your company is going to be in shambles.
You're going to lose your talent to any elsewhere. I mean, shit. At that point, if I'm
honestly, while Nick Aldis is suspended, ask this guy for your release.
Please.
Ask Billy Corgan for your release. Get out of there.
Because I mean, if like you said, I mean, it's the same, you can make the same argument with Chelsea Green, Camilla Brickhouse, Melina, for the love of
Camille Brickhouse needs to go because she doesn't deserve that. Melina needs to go. She doesn't deserve that.
Now that's
Chelsea Green. She doesn't deserve that. Matt Cardona needs to ask for his release because of his wife.
Yeah. So you pissed off two husbands already. Nick Aldis, you probably pissed off Matt Cardona. You
probably did. You probably pissed off.
That's two husband and wives you pissed off.
Like there's no coming back from that. There's nothing. You can't come back from that.
And the fact that you say Mickey James can't. I'm thinking to myself,
none of the women. No, it's not just Mickey James. It's none of the women. None of the women have what it takes to be in the NWA. And wrestle. And get this. Not only said they can't wrestle in NWA, they can't wrestle their own pay-per-view. Yet you gave them Empower.
So, dude, I mean, this dude, like, that's hypocrite at its finest. Like, what?
It's hypocritical. It's very hypocritical, man.
It's like you're showing your true colors. It's like, really?
Oh my god!
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I mean, at that point, if I'm just the entire roster, just ask for your release and just go. Because I mean, look, shit. If I'm Triple H too, if I'm Triple H and I'm seeing all this stuff, I will at least keep my eye on shit. It'll be awesome if he can bring in Camilla Brickhouse. That's fucking great.
Dude, having Camille Brickhouse would be amazing.
I think amazing. But
let's see if this happens, right? They bring in Camille Brickhouse. They bring back Chelsea Green.
And they can bring back Melina.
They also bring back Melina, and they also bring back Matt Cardona. aka Zack Ryder.
I don't think Matt Cardona wants to go back because I think Matt Cardona is killing it on the indie scene.
Yeah, but still, if he could still come back with his wife. If he wanted
absolutely.
To.
But man,
I think he's one of those wrestlers that would go where the wife goes.
Yeah, because Chelsea Green, even though she was, well, no pun intended, green, but I mean that you had she had potential.
It was not that she was green. She was not green at all. It was the fact that she had bad luck. She had terrible luck.
And because if I'm
and I felt so bad for her when she kept getting hurt.
I mean, it wasn't like I think it was like consistent knee injuries that pretty much kept her out.
No, the first one was a knee injury. The next one, it was the debut of SmackDown, or her debut on SmackDown. The same night that she debuted, she broke her hand, broke her arm.
I was like, man,
the next day, she gets fired. Which was a heinous move.
But I mean, and this is what I think too. If I'm Chelsea, and Chelsea Green does go back, I think I would have at least have a talk with Triple H to get me a different ring name instead of having to trade. Because I think that's another issue that Chelsea Green did not like, which they're trying to trademark her government, or as Kate put it, her government name.
No, they didn't. They didn't change her government name.
No, she was
still Chelsea Green.
No, try to trademark it. Remember all that shit went down?
Here's the thing. That was just Vince. Vince wanted the trademark names. But if you saw a lot of names came back. Nikki Cross came back. Who else?
Oh boy.
Austin Theory came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all these names coming back. So they're not so much trademarking their name anymore. You can wrestle with the name. You don't care.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it's just like, yikes. It's just, but man, I mean, that's a meme. But I don't know, man. It's been, good Lord.
It's been an entire firestorm in NWA. Entire firestorm.
Yeah.
And I was gonna leave that out, but then I remembered it.
Could you imagine Triple H brought in Nick Aldis and Mickie James at the same time? For the love of God, I think that's
all I've got to say. From what I've seen from Nick Aldis from the past few years, whether it's on Impact or whether it's in NWA, this man could be a WWE champion within a year.
I mean, especially under the Triple H regime, I could
see it.
Because I mean, definitely see that. Because if you really think about it, yes, I mean, you know, the Triple H too is like, it's really young. But if you bring it, like you said, we bring in like Melina, Mickie James, Nick Aldis, get some of that veteran leadership in that locker room. I think you got something special going on there. Now the question is, if we do, like say, bring in Nick Aldis, where would you want to put it, Raw or SmackDown?
I would put him on Raw.
Yeah, I was thinking Raw as well, because good Lord, that'd be it.
I mean, either way, if you're gonna put him in the world title picture, the titles are unified anyway, so either brand will work.
That is true.
But if you want to make your Raw like the marquee show, like it's supposed to be, the flagship, the marquee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Show, put him on Raw.
Because good Lord, because you got a guy that, I mean, this dude had what count? I mean, actually,
he was TNA heavyweight champion at one point, so multiple time NWA champion. He was a tag champion.
Man, you can still get some good years out of him. He's only just at the ripe age of 36.
Yeah, you can get some good years, maybe a few more years, and then he's probably gonna be like another AJ Styles type. The first 2 years, he's in the championship picture, and then the next few years, he's feuding small feuds, but he's losing those feuds because he's putting over the younger talent.
Oh boy, so man, he's the CWY heavyweight. Well, he's a current Championship Wrestling International heavyweight champion. But he's held the Global Force Wrestling Global Championship once, has won the championship tournament. Is a 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. A one-time, oh my God, Doug, who remembers Doug Williams back then? He's held the
What do you mean? What do we mean, Petey or Doug?
Doug Williams.
I don't remember Doug. I remember Petey. He may have wrestled as Petey.
Something like that, but he's Nick Aldis has held the IWGP one time, the tag titles, has held the NAWA Texas Championship once, has held the GHC Tag Team Championship once with Samoa Joe and Pro Wrestling Noah. Ring Ka King. He's held their World Championship once, has won the World Cup with Steiner, Abyss, Daly, Danda, and Sanjay Dutt. Surprisingly, that's crazy. And TNA, good lord, he's got a huge record. He's held the TNA World Heavyweight title once. He's held the tag titles twice, one with Doug Williams and one with Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Doug Williams was Petey. Duh. Yeah, I remember
Doug. Feast or Fire. Oh god, remember the Feast or Fired match concept in 2015 for the World Tag Team Championship contract. He's the Global Impact Tournament with the great Sonata. Drew, obviously they had Drew McIntyre there as well.
I forgot Sonata was a part of Impact at one point.
God, that's crazy.
That was when he aligned himself with James Storm as a heel. That's
right. He also held the was part of the with Desmond Wolf for the TNA World Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Has won it in 2013 before the I guess say like a rebrand of the Wild Card Tournament with Samoa Joe and the Explosion Championship Challenge back in 2011. So that's Nick Aldis in a nutshell with his champion.
He's got a lot of accolades for the last few years in every company that he's worked in.
You know what's crazy?
The thing is, if WWE picks him up, if this NWA thing falls through and he's out of the company, great. You got yourself a great champion, great wrestler to have. He can talk on the mic because he makes you hang on to every word for word. Because I'm sitting there watching his promos and I don't even want to stop watching his promo. Because that's how good his promos are.
And it's just like you have and Mickie James, we know what she's. I mean, if you have not seen Mickie James wrestle, where the hell have you been for the last
since 2006?
Yeah, almost 2 decades at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, shit. We know what Melina's capable of. I need to see Camille Brickhouse because I haven't watched her wrestle, so I can't say for sure. But you got a lot of. If I'm Triple H and some of these other companies, you better keep an eye because you got some incredible talent that you could use.
And I urge you, Rob, since you've never seen a Camille Brickhouse match, look on YouTube.
Okay.
Because she's an awesome wrestler. I've seen one of her matches before. She's great. She's great.
So the way that I'm guessing you say she's like a powerhouse. Like a powerhouse.
She's a powerhouse because she's tall, but she's built like a powerhouse too. And she's like super, super buff.
Okay. Kind of like what's her face?
Chyna?
No. Yeah, well, in that description, yes.
I mean, she's built kind of like a Chyna because she's like super, super built.
She Camille, but it's like, crazy to. I mean,
are you looking her up right now?
Yeah, I want to. How do you spell it? God, if I can spell it. Oh, actually spelled with a K? That's interesting.
Camille Brickhouse. Have you seen a picture of her? Did you see a picture of her?
Yeah, I actually have her. She's 5'10".
She's tall. She's tall. Yeah, 5'10".
Holy crap! She's still young too, man. She's already entering her prime.
Yeah.
I mean, 5'10".
She's good too, dude. The only gripe that I have, she's kind of iffy on the mic, kind of. I just really don't care for her promos that much. But her in-ring skill, she's really good.
I mean, she's right now the current NWA World's Women's Champion.
Which that's a big ouch because of after what her boss said.
Woo! Oh, and for those who don't know, she's also married to Bram or Thomas Latimer. If for those who have
Yep,
not
she's
seen
married. She's
IC
married to Bram. She's
and
married to
Bram,
Bram.
have you
Yep.
not seen this man wrestling in ICW? Good Lord, this dude is ruthless.
Yo, what about his run in TNA? Remember when he beat up on a amputee who was in
I
the
forgot
military?
about that. Yeah. Oh
Yo,
my
he was
God.
ruthless. He took the
What?
guy's leg and beat him with his leg.
I was
Like,
like,
damn.
God, I feel like we've seen that once before, and that was back in. It's surprising too. I mean, she's been there with the NWA since 2018.
Yeah.
Part of she's part of this the Strictly Business faction, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, man. Jesus Christ, she's gonna probably kick the little crap out of people. Good Lord.
Dude, I am telling you, if WWE takes advantage of this whole firestorm happening in NWA and they get released, Nick Aldis, Mil Brickhouse, Molina, and Mickey James, and Matt Cardona, and Chelsea Green, which is a lot of wrestlers if you come to think of it.
You know what's funny?
Mil Brickhouse is one of the ones that end up getting released because of this firestorm. Watch out for her. She's probably gonna roll over. She's gonna run over the entire women's division.
You know what's funny? I'm actually reading her Wikipedia page and noticed, like, she actually dated Braun Strowman at one point in her life in 2014. God damn.
I mean, he was part of the Wyatt family at the time, so can't be too mad at that.
Let's see where is. I don't think Brand. Let's see.
And you know what that means? Do you know what that means, Robert?
What's that?
You know who Braun likes? Big buff, sweaty women.
Oh my God! It's just like
he loves buff women, man. He was dating Kimmo Brickhouse. Now he's dating Raquel.
Yeah.
He loves.
So this is Camille Brickhouse's. Apparently,
you mess with those couples, they're probably both going to kick you in your teeth.
So no, I think Braun Strowman's going to squish you.
Both of them's going to squish. Raquel and Braun's going to squish you.
Braun, hey, Rocky, that's just. So for Camille Brickhouse, so she is a bodybuilder. From what she has a bodybuilding championship.
She's built like one. She's built like a bodybuilder. Yeah.
Yeah, she has an NPC Daytona Beach Classic bodybuilding championship. She's the current women's champion in NWA.
Ouch.
She also has won the Diamonds Division Starlight Championship. I don't know exactly where.
Probably an outside
Platinum Pro Wrestling. She is for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. She is ranked 23 out of 100 top 50 wrestlers in PW.
I'm telling you, she's good.
So I can see
she's good, man.
I mean, the fact that it's only 29, though, man. Good Lord, that's surprised how she's still young.
Yeah,
but the fact that. Yeah, that's right. And I'm looking at she actually defeated Serena Deeb for the women's championship. And
remember because she showed up on AEW Dynamite that one time? That was her. That was Camille. That was Camille Brickhouse.
Like it's like look at us entire set. Ouch. When you hear that she's holding the NWA women's championships, like
and you make those comments?
Like that's like you're such a hypocrite.
You're a dumbass. And just hypocrite, you're a dumbass.
Like exactly. Like if I'm especially if Camille Brickhouse, I'd be fucking pissed. Oh God, don't even
she probably threw that man through a table already.
Probably. Because it's like it's getting like I don't know, man. But other than that though, man, it's just like not just Triple H too, like shit. I mean, NWA's got potential. Well, not say potential, but they got stars.
They've got stars in that company. You got Matt Cardona, who's a star. Chelsea Green, who's a star. Camille, who's a star. Nikki, who's an established star.
Melina still is still an established star.
Melina's an established star.
It's still crazy. I
want her, dude. I want Melina back for a final run.
Because I think
to me, that Royal Rumble appearance this year was not enough.
It wasn't enough because I feel like this new with the
give me a run with her, please. Give me a run.
Because I feel like
run with her in the company, please.
It's crazy too, and I just pictured this too. How could you imagine her and Bianca going at it on the?
Dude, that would be a money match. That would be a money match, man.
Exactly, because I mean, you got the new generation stars, and Bianca Belair. I feel like that's the. I feel like Melina, if I want to see another pass the torch match. I think Melina and Bianca will be one of the. You got to capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah. Two powerhouses like that, yeah.
Hell, even give me Trish Stratus for the one last time, for the love of God.
Honestly, no, because she's on the older side, and she's kind of ventured away from wrestling in a sense. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's crazy too. But I don't know, man. But it's just.
I feel like the match between her and Charlotte was like the passing of the torch. So she's already had that moment.
Mia Yim's back!
Who?
Mia Yim's back on Raw!
Mia Yim? What?
Mia Yim?
Yo,
let me turn on my TV. Crap out of
let me turn on my TV right now. Hold on, what?
You cannot miss blue hair anywhere. Oh my God.
Are you joking me?
I am not shit. I'm not bullshitting you, man.
Hold on, I dropped my remote.
Oh no! Hey, I
said, "Are you joking me?"
I'm not joking, man. I can't.
I said that's why I said, "Are you joking me?" Oh, thank God, it's still signed in. Okay, yo, Mia Yim is in what?
She's back. She's on Raw, and she just
come on.
She cracked.
Get to Raw. All right, I just got to a brawl between Balor and Styles. I missed it.
Because you'll see it. Like, she's right next to Gallows and Anderson. You cannot miss the blue hair anywhere. Now, camel pants, that's her.
No, I can't see her. I still can't. All right, I saw Carl Anderson just deck him. Oh my God, it is. Oh my God!
I'm not, like I said, I'm not bullshitting you,
dude. Live on stream, we just had a freak out.
Welcome back, Mia Yim.
Mia Yim is back, and she's not in that stupid Retribution character. She's Mia Yim. Timberlands and all, everything.
My God,
let's go. What?
Who would have thought? Then again, that is a Triple H product.
Go.
Let's
go. All right, I'm gonna turn off Raw now because I don't want to turn it to a Raw stream. But what?
So I want to.
You know what? I'm keeping Raw on. Screw it as background noise.
But I mean,
dude, you just started freaking out, and I had to run to my TV.
So, could you think of this too? If you have Mia Yim back, Keith Lee's contract is up between 2024 and 2020.
Why did they bring back Keith Lee?
Oh,
her husband.
Especially with Triple H too. Remember Keith Lee's also a Triple H product from NXT.
Why did they bring back her husband?
And finally get the retribution. Well, finally get this man, because I mean, what just happened?
We both freaked out.
I just saw the blue hair. Like, no, but you cannot miss that blue hair anywhere.
No. I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the corner. First, but as soon as they went back and she stood right where the announce table, I'm like, oh my God, that is her.
Like, she cracked Rhea right over the head with. She was just beating her senseless with the kendo stick.
You were like, oh my God, it's me again.
I'm sorry, I just had a JR moment there.
Dude, that was best. That was the best content ever to end this show. Oh my God, Mia Yim is back. Yeah. I can't imagine how much Earl's reacting right now.
God. Or maybe Ghoulie, for the love of God.
Ghoulie's freaking out, probably.
I mean, but other than that, though, man, an hour, 10 minutes, talk some good, interesting that, and see immediately. I just have put Raw on, just like I said, for background noise. But I mean, shit. There's
you turned it on. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like now this is my thing too. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the. Okay, so that's it's AEW. Let's see. I'm trying to see whose contract's going to be up very soon. Ooh, Brian Cage's contract's is going to be up soon.
I don't really care for Brian Cage, to be honest.
But Brian Danielson, his contract's up in on July of 2024.
I can either see him resigning or going back to WWE. One of those two.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went back, because let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
But he was one of those wrestlers that really wasn't booked poorly. So I don't see why he would just come running back, because Vince is gone.
And shit, maybe bring back Aleister Black, for the love of God. The dude, yeah, fuck. Because I think with, I mean,
I could see Aleister Black. I could see Aleister Black returning. I can see that,
because I feel like I said, if anybody's from NXT, that's Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Aleister Black.
If they're bringing back people left and right that were released because of Vince, and they wouldn't return unless Vince was gone, you would think guys like Aleister Black would come back. Guys like Murphy would come back. Keith Lee come back. Guys like Swerve would come back.
Let's see. I'm trying to look. I wouldn't. Or hell, could you imagine seeing Cesaro back under Triple H's regime?
I could see that.
Oh man. Bring back. So right, I mean, hell. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, hell, even...
Are they really giving him a show?
What the hell?
They're really giving him a game show?
Who?
Blake Shelton. They're giving him a game show.
Apparently so.
And Sasha Banks is going to be on that.
But November 26th, for those who have Peacock, it's probably going to be the best events we're going to be watching. It's going to probably be the best Survivor Series you're ever going to see.
War Games. We need. Here's what we need. Here's what we need. William Regal to return for one night, just to say those two words.
Oh, absolutely.
Please.
But other than that,
when he does it, it's like when he does it, it's so intense, but it's so satisfying to hear.
So Adam Cole, he won't be a free agent until 2027. So that's another.
Cass, are you really trying to run with those shoes on, those heels?
That's not a good idea,
dude. She was running so slow.
But like, other than that, though, man, and the fact that we get Ricochet's girlfriend back, Samantha Irvin. I mean, like, it just seems to me that Triple H too, for the last final thing, it's just like Triple H is trying to rectify the mess that Vince left behind. If I'm like, say, and I could imagine, Adam Cole, like I said, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, that if they can see how much the company has changed since they left, don't you think that's in the back of their minds by the time that when their contract's up? It's like, okay.
Am I the only one that finds Otis and Chad Gable kind of funny?
Oh yeah,
they're really kind of funny.
Other than that, though, man, what another good episode of the It's Running Podcast, episode 29, and our Hardcore Sports Network debut of this show.
What a way to start this off with a bang and a freak out and a bang.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, Saturday, November 26th, we got Survivor Series. For the first time ever, War Games is going to be implemented from what I've understood. So all three brands are going to have to deal with War Games. That's going to
NXT is going to be involved too.
From what I would think so. If you're bringing War Games,
no, they're not. They're not doing NXT. It's going to be Raw and SmackDown. Just like last year. Just like no, this year they're not doing the Raw and SmackDown thing. They're just doing regular storylines.
Okay. But other than that, though, Survivor Series, I'm excited. But other than that, though, that's going to do it for me and Tyler here at the Hardcore Sports Network and the Philly Sports Podcast YouTube page. If you guys new, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. With that being said,
you really couldn't have Elias come out first and do a song.
Yeah,
that's stupid. All right. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, this has been the It's From Me podcast,
episode 29, and technically episode 1 of the Hardcore Sports Network, and there's going to be a lot more to come. And you're going to see some other guests coming up, and like I said, we got a lot of professional wrestling. This is the place to be. With that being said, this was Robert and Tyler from the Philly Sports Podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.